Hi, everybody. This is Ruta Lee, and you're listening to TV Confidential.
Ed Robertson welcoming you back to TV Confidential, radio talk show about television. And this week is a radio talk show dedicated to Loretta Swit. Loretta Swit, the actress known around the world as Major Margaret Houlihan on MASH. Loretta Swit passed away Friday, May 30th at the age of 87. Loretta Swit, of course, won 2 Emmy Awards for her portrayal of Margaret on MASH. And though most of us know Loretta best for her work in television, at the time we spoke to her in February 2019, Loretta was about to receive the annual Icon Award at the annual Oscars party held in Los Angeles that year. We asked her about that and a whole lot more. Tony Figueroa and Donna Allen were with me that day as we talked to Loretta. And as it happens, Loretta spoke to the three of us just as she was about to go on a walk through Central Park. Not only was it cool to know that the three of us were accompanying Loretta, so to speak, on her walk that day, but the conversation you're about to hear has become one of my personal favorite memories of doing this program. With that in mind, as we began our conversation by asking Loretta, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And how's it going for you?
Well,
really cold where I am.
Well, it is cold and dreary, although I would imagine you got about a good 25, 30 degrees where we are.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. But it is dreary outside, but it's warm and sunny inside because we're talking to you.
Oh, how sweet that is. Do you mind if we walk and talk? I have an appointment that clashes with you, but I'm going to be walking there, so it's not a problem. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Hang on just 1 second. Let me button my coat.
Loretta, while you are buttoning your coat, let me introduce you to my colleagues, Tony and Donna. Tony and Donna, like you, are cat people.
Well, I'm not a cat people. I'm an animal people.
That's right.
You know, I've really never met an animal that I didn't love, and I can include some pretty fearsome creatures. But no, I mean, like, I don't know. Have you seen my book? Or are you talking in the blind?
No. We have seen your book.
And loved it.
And
adored it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to just fill in the blank.
No, she knows how to work it. You know?
Feel free to put words in our mouths.
Yeah. No.
Actually, Harlan told me that it would be fun and that you were good people, and you are, and so I know that I can kid around with you.
Absolutely.
There you are.
Absolutely. In fact, you mentioned animals of all sizes. If I remember correctly, there's a double-page photo of you with a beautiful tiger from one of your safaris.
Oh, yes. Huge. I mean, you can't imagine the size of the head. But I was thinking more about the alligator they call Big Mouth. That was really awesome. The alligator in Florida. Did you see that picture? You're probably just in love with the tiger.
I'm in love with the tiger. I'm in love with the Jack Russell Terrier that graces the cover of SwitHeart.
Yeah, isn't that a sweetheart? That's a rescue, a Bide-A-Wee rescue. I never miss an opportunity to tote Bide-A-Wee and laud them for their work, their purest, most wonderful, the oldest shelter we have in Manhattan. And just last year alone, they placed 7 dogs for me and 2 cats. But they are extraordinary. Their animals go to forever homes. They're not interested in making marks or getting credit for turnover or something. They go out to the houses, check them, dog-proof them, cat-proof them. When they allow an animal to be adopted, it's a forever loving home. It's the best. Terrific. So I trust them. I always take my foundlings or somebody who's come to me giving up an animal because they're moving, whatever. So that's a Bide-A-Wee rescue on the cover. The Jack Russell you love.
No, I mean, that's fantastic. But I want to go back to the alligator. When I think of rescues, alligators, I mean, that's the last thing I think about. Can you elaborate on that? I'd like to learn more about that.
They are so incredible. What creatures, what such incredible creatures. There is a wonderful place that houses them in St. Augustine called Alligator Farm. And kids can go. It's an education for me. It's so wonderful and heartening to see these alligators and kids, I should say crocodilian, which I guess takes in a lot of the species. But anyway, and to see kids learning about them, are fabulous little prehistoric animals, these alligators. Now, they are protecting birds of several species from predators that are on the ground. So spoonbills, cranes, there are many beautiful varieties of birds in Florida that are being protected by those alligators. So it's like an amazing experience to see the nests all over above the alligator pits.
I never would have thought of that. I would have thought that alligators would see a crane as a quick lunch.
No.
That's amazing.
We're talking about the nests, the parents and the nests, where they can nest safely above the alligators. In other words, the ground predators wouldn't dare try to get at them because the alligators are there.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
It is really neat to see it. You have to be there. So I love Big Mouth. We made the front page, Hot Lips meets Big Mouth.
Oh, I love it. No, but you never consider, because I think every time we see alligators in the news, it's usually some fantastic story about, a tract home in Orlando and an alligator shows up in a pool.
Or something horrific.
Yeah.
Right. Usually when you read something of a deadly nature from any animal, whether it's a shark attack or it's generally nobody's fault. Like a human diving into waters where there is a very clear sign saying no swimming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A shark is just doing what they do. They eat. They're hungry, like a bear. So, you go strolling through a park where the signs are marked very clearly that it's bear country, and you're not supposed to, whatever. In other words, we should be able to live together. Mostly you'll notice any article like that you read, you would understand that it was the fault of nature. I'm desperately sorry when I read that someone didn't take precautions with a dog, let's say, or a mother didn't say to the child, no, you mustn't pet a dog you don't know. You must ask first, is the dog friendly? Does the dog like to be petted? Animals, puppies, let's say, or kids, get very frightened at the rather jerky, sudden movements of little kids. Now, the kids don't mean any harm. It's the way they're moving in the beginning. So to protect itself, puppy might yap out or bite. It's a matter of education and learning, knowing how to live together. Anyway, I didn't mean to get on a soapbox.
No, Loretta, this is very important. In fact, could you just give a few tips to parents who might be introducing a new puppy or kitten or any pet into a household, especially if they have small children around? Just a couple of quick tips.
First of all, how small and what kind of puppy. There are drip-dry animals that are made for little kids to rough and tumble and wrestle, and it's good for both species. You wouldn't get a tiny Pekingese for a 3-year-old or a 2-year-old. It makes no sense. It's not a good marriage.
Right.
No.
Good match.
What would be a good match for, say, a 2 or 3-year-old?
A golden retriever. A shepherd.
Yes.
These dogs that make great search rescue dogs. They make battle dogs. If that's what you're doing, I guess if I were a parent, I'm not sure I would do that with that young a child. I would wait for a little more maturity.
What's a good age? 5, 6, 7, or 8?
Yeah, 5, 6. And again, I would probably get, I'm assuming parents are going to be working and busy, I would get a behaviorist to show the child how to be with the animal. Let them learn, let them grow up together.
Very good idea.
Let them learn together. There's a whole set of rules. You don't just bring a dog home and plop him on the floor and say, this is your house. That animal has to have his or her own space. there's a little place for them, whether it's a little house, a little basket or whatever, their own toys, their own water bowl, food bowl. This is their space, so they're comfortable in their house, in your home. And it's their house, too. So you have to do that in advance. You need to provide for the arrival the way you would grandma. You know, you're not going to move to a place that doesn't have a ramp.
Yeah.
Grandma has a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And they're members of the family.
That's exactly right. And that's the mindset you have to have.
On the line with us is Loretta Swit. Loretta Swit, Major Margaret Houlihan on MASH, and the co-author, along with Mies Hora, of SwitHeart, the Watercolour Artistry and Animal Activism of Loretta Swit. All proceeds from the sale of SwitHeart support the SwitHeart Animal Alliance, the nonprofit organization that Loretta started as part of her lifelong campaign to end animal cruelty and animal suffering. For more on SwitHeart, SwitHeart.org. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
This portion of TV Confidential is brought to us by our friends at Front Porch Realty, the community of realtors in the Northern Bay Area of California that is committed to finding the solution that is best for their clients. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to sell or lease your property in Northern California, call Karen Strain at 415-886-7411 or visit frontporchrealtygroup.com for more information on how they can help you.
One more item. If you're starting a company, particularly one that is in an emerging market, you know that averting any sort of legal dispute is crucial to your business plan. Our friends at Tectonic Law offer an array of services that can help you avoid and preempt future litigation while also developing and protecting your intellectual property and intangible assets. Tectonic Law serves the needs of a host of emerging industries throughout California and beyond, including industrial designers, beverage makers, artists, farmers, retail stores, health practitioners, wellness experts, cosmetics manufacturers, nonprofit organizations, innovators in sustainable practices, and libraries. Go to tectoniclaw.com to learn more about how Tectonic Law can help your business thrive. tectoniclaw.com. Rock solid representation for groundbreaking industries.
Hi, this is Jim McCrell, and you're listening to TV Confidential, and you might learn something.
Our conversation with Loretta originally aired in February 2019. Loretta Swit passed away Friday, May 30th at the age of 87. Tony?
One of the things I've noticed introducing an animal into the home, sometimes that was intended to be a pet for a certain family member, and the animal decides to bond with a different family member. My stepmother got a beagle, but the beagle decided to hang out with my brother. I don't know if my brother was consulted on it, but yeah. Oh, I'm rooming with this guy. My mother adopted a Doberman, and it was a true rescue. And he decided to hang out with her boyfriend. And when they split up, guess who got custody?
You know, the funny thing is, their instincts are like ours. It's chemical as well. Mm-hmm. The Dobie might very well have preferred that gender.
Yeah.
It could have just been a question of wanting to hang out with a guy, you know, with testosterone or, you know, was it a male Dobie?
Yeah, it was. And he was a plumbing contractor, so he used to hang out on the construction sites.
So he was very used to guys.
Yeah, he was...
We only know what we know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he knew.
Yeah, my mother had a habit of adopting Doberman. She had at least 4. And,
wow, also very brave.
Yeah, the first one was when I'd lived with my grandparents for several years. When I moved back in with my mother, he took on the job. He kind of guarded my bedroom door.
Oh.
He just sat there, and then, you know, eventually he decided there's room in the bed for both of us. When I became a preteen and her friend had a new baby and brought the baby home, he just sat in front of the sofa where the baby was sleeping and just was on guard duty until that baby left the house. And it was like one of the palace guards at Buckingham Palace. He did not move.
Right. That's right. I'm doing a painting right now of a battle dog, my friend who's retired Marine. He was in Afghanistan with his dog Harley. Mm-hmm. And I took a photo, took several, but this one photo of Harley sitting next to him and looking up at him. And I'm thrilled because I think the painting captures what's in his eyes. I mean, his eyes say it all. Nothing's going to ever happen to you, not while I'm here.
Wow.
His eyes are filled with commitment and awe and respect and love and devotion. Devotion. I mean, we can never repay, and I mean this, we can never repay our servicemen. Ever. There's nothing we can do beyond the thank you, which is not too much, except show them love and respect, kindness, and give them everything we can to better their lives when they come back. Okay. These battle dogs are devoted to them. One of my projects is to bring them back together, and if not, bring that dog back to that man eventually. Or woman. There are some women who are actually out there.
Absolutely.
With their dogs. So now, having said that, the guide dogs for the blind in Israel, I have contact with and have done work with them by virtue of giving them some of my paintings to auction to raise funds for what they do, because they don't sell the dogs. They get the puppies, train them, and give them to the blind person. So that's their wonderful organization. Now, they sent me a video because they're branching out with service, sent me a video of a service dog waking a vet from a nightmare. The vet has PTSD, okay? And the dog is gently getting on the bed and gently waking him from the nightmare and holding him, literally holding him and taking care of him. So we owe our guys this kind of care. And at the same time, we owe the dogs the opportunity to do what they want to do, which is naturally to take care of us, protect us. I mean, the search rescue dogs, I've seen them train, I've seen them work. I met them at Ground Zero at 9/11. So I've sort of been in the trenches. They're remarkable. Our animals, our animal life, our animal world is remarkable, and they love us unconditionally.
You're listening to a conversation with Emmy Award-winning actress Loretta Swit that originally aired in February 2019 here on TV Confidential. Loretta Swit passed away Friday, May 30th at the age of 87. Donna?
Loretta, what do you think about the new law in California? In fact, I just learned about it that I guess in a case of divorce that pets are no longer considered property. They are considered family members, and I guess custody will be established during that.
It's true. They are family members.
Yes.
Actually, we are inclined to discourage the use of pets. They're animal companions.
Yeah.
Or service animals.
Much better.
Or battle dogs. Or there are ways that better describe who they are.
Yeah, that are much more affirming. And I wish that law in California were around when I lost my cat in my divorce. But that's a subject.
Really?
That's a subject for another conversation. Okay, it's where are you in relation to your appointment? And
I'm walking through Central Park. How about that?
Oh,
there you go. Eat your heart out. I will tell you, but it's very cold.
Is there snow on the ground?
No, it's too cold for snow.
We were in Central Park about a month ago, Donna and I, and we walked from, 125th to...
About 70th.
Yeah, you're my kind of people. Yeah, I'm a walker. When I was a kid and I was a struggling actor, I was in class and looking for jobs and having other jobs, while I was looking at... We couldn't afford a lot of subway tokens, so we walked everywhere. We certainly couldn't afford cabs. And I remember walking from the village, where I had a rent-controlled hovel, up to 72nd Street to the Ansonia Hotel for a free singing lesson. So the whole day didn't cost me a dime, but we did it. It was wonderful, fervent. I enjoyed the journey. It didn't occur to me that I was giving myself varicose veins. But it was splendid. The journey really was remarkable. Most of us think about the destination. And while our goal is important, the journey can be very, very much more meaningful than just getting there. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. The great thing about walking is, as you say, you may have a certain route amongst your neighborhood, but you could take a side street, or you could discover new neighborhoods or new types of trees that you didn't know were.
Especially in New York. I mean, walking in New York has always been an adventure. There's always some new route to take, and that's such a long walk. When I say Jones Street in the Village or McDougal up to 72nd Street, woof, I would venture to say that's at least, 6-7 miles? I don't know. I could sit down and figure it out, but it's quite a few miles.
But the great thing about walking, and for someone such as yourself who has done it your entire life, it's a great way of staying in condition. And it's a
great exercise, correct.
Yes, and it keeps your stamina, particularly for you when you do your safaris and just the effort that you pour into your activism, and you're able to keep yourself in shape.
I have my mother's feet, which means they're very bad. So, thank you, Mom. You know, that was something I learned. I was at the podiatrist trying to help my feet, and I said, well, between ballet shoes, toe shoes, army boots, tennis shoes, barefoot, which is bad, but whatever, I said, why would I expect them to be in better shape? And he said, no. He said, I'm not saying those issues didn't contribute to some degree, but he said, if you had stayed in the closet with your feet up all your life, you would still be in this office, and I would still be scraping away and trying to fix things, because it's all inherited. He said, which of your parents had bad feet? No, without a link. I said, oh, my mother. Every time I walked into the house, she had her feet soaking in a tub, you know. He said, well, there you go. You have your mother's feet. I said, damn, Mom. Thanks a lot. And I thought that was kind of interesting. I always thought it was something I overdid and did to myself. And he said, no. He said, what you did probably didn't help any, but those are yours. It's heredity.
We're talking to actress, author, and animal rights activist Loretta Swit. This conversation with Loretta originally aired in February 2019. Loretta Swit passed away Friday, May 30th at the age of 87. We'll take a quick time out. We'll play more of our conversation with Loretta Swit when we come back here on TV Confidential.
Who needs a vacation? Are you ready for an unforgettable getaway? Start packing your bags, because Branson, Missouri, the vacation and entertainment capital of the U.S., is calling your name. For just $99 per person, here's what you get. A full 3-day, 2-night stay in a luxury resort hotel, a delicious full breakfast buffet every morning you're here, and when you call right now, free show tickets worth up to $100. That's right, free show tickets to an award-winning show on us. You don't have to leave the country for an amazing vacation. You can drive or fly to Branson and have an incredible time. Whether you bring in the whole family or just planning a romantic escape, this trip is built for you. We guarantee you'll love Branson. This is not a timeshare. It's just an unbeatable vacation deal for only $99 per person. You book now, you can use your tickets anytime this year. You don't even need to know your travel dates to lock in the special price. Hurry, because this offer won't last long. Call our Branson vacation experts today.
800-435-1887. 800-435-1887. 800-435-1887. That's 800-435-1887.